Hello, Joseph Worthy, Activist Supply. Gonna look at index color separation in Photoshop. As you can see, we're back on a Mac and back inside Adobe Photoshop. I'm at home. It's kind of late. I can hear my dog walking around upstairs. If you guys can hear that, I apologize. Leave a comment. Anybody who watches this, I think I have like 12 subscribers. Um, so if one of my 12 subscribers wants to comment, dude, hook up a mic. Dude, do something about the sound. I have mics. I can do something about it. I thought the sound sounded pretty good on the Mac last time, so I didn't worry about a mic this time. Um, anyway, I think I'm going for a record today. I want to shatter a personal best. So far, I have 0 likes on all my videos. I want to go for one. I want to go for one thumbs up. I know. It's setting it's setting it up there. I think I can pull it off if one of you would just probably just feel sorry for me. I guess about the only way I could get it. So I had planned to get away from the index and simulate process, go back to the vector separation, overprint palettes, just lots of workflows that are just probably what more often comes in the average print shop. But then I thought, you know what? I need to stick with the zombie and finish that thought all the way through and show how to do that in channels. I'm probably not going to, that's probably the only thing I'm not going to do in both programs because you really can relate Photoshop to Photo Paint and you really can relate the two. I just want to, since I talked about it, I want to show the calculation way of doing color separations, and I want to talk about the different color range methods. I got a really good one. I probably shouldn't even give it up. That's how good it is. I've never seen anyone do it in all my years of separating. I started on the very first Photoshop around 1992. So I've seen a few tricks for color separation for simulated process, but this is one that I just kind of thought of, and I'll give that up. I'll give that information up because you know what, I only a few people are even gonna really watch these videos and try this on their own. Not many people have that much of a desire to learn and do it. Everybody wants the quick fix, but even the quick button push, get all your steps, you still need to know what you're doing. And that's the reason why I'm sharing this knowledge because some people will have the curiosity to want to know what's going on in the programs. And plus, some people will want to see how to get really good results. And so, to follow where I was headed, I was going to do that. After this, I was going to do a base for the Corel index separation, the video I just did, and I was going to do another video that was a base for this one because I didn't cover it in the other one, and I haven't covered in this one. These dots butt up to each other. These they're squares most of the time. The dithering is, but so it's a solid, and you can get away with a solid base, but it's better probably to do a tinted style. Well, it's not really tinted either, but there's lots of different ways to do the base. I'm going to show the different ways to do a base for index in both programs. Um, but as I had mentioned before, when good simulated process jobs come into the shop, I'm going to do those live and show you a live workflow and then show you the product so you can really see results, and that'll cover everything that gets done to them from accounting for dot gain. This one even has a need for flesh tones and browns. I'm going to quickly show it to you. It's Fan Cave Sports that sell a lot of St. Louis Blues, St. Louis Cardinals fan gear are running this. They're going to be selling this shirt soon, and they placed a rather large order. I'm going to do this. I'm going to break away from my plans of the channeled zombie. I was going to break the zombie down into channels using the calculations and two different methods, or possibly three, actually three methods of color range selection. Plus, I'm going to show when the color range selection is actually sort of a tinted spot pull when you use it a certain way. And that's the way I've seen a lot of people use it. But we're not going to get into all that. We're going to do this index today. Uh, I'm just glad to be back on the Mac. You know what they say. Um, Once you go Mac, you never go back. I think that's what they say. And there's some kind of saying, once you go Mac, you never go back. Yeah, well, I'm gonna have to go back because I like Corel just as much. Not just as much, but it's just as good, and I want the Corel people to get my information because there was years where I only used Corel. I started in Adobe. There was years where I pretty much only kept Corel for my shop, and then I kind of missed using Mac computers and the speed and efficiency with them, so I went back. Let's get into doing this anyway, though. I've rambled on enough. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put this on a white background and flatten it. I can't even tell you why I'm going to do that. I really can't. Truth be told, well, the truth is because I'm going to bust out those letters by pulling white. And so I'm going to put something behind the logo, and this is my logo. I'm going to flatten this. I'm just putting it on a white background. So you always want index to be around 150 for your resolution. Um, Otherwise, the dithering will be too small. I don't care what kind of dots you can hold. It'll be too small, but that's a perfect resolution. Sim process should be anywhere from 150 to 250. I know we didn't talk about that, but this is basically a lot like simulated process in that it's a way to simulate tonal shift or continuous tonal images. This one is a good image for it. And what I did was I just took my logo, I threw some blood splatter at it, and I put a burning building scene power clipped in it. And so basically you have a dark red to a yellow, and the tone shifts all the way through the oranges. What you mostly have here is oranges. My lazy dog is up there playing on the floor above me. Now all he does is lay around. I'm recording a video, and so what does he do? I hope you cannot hear it and it's not distracting, but let's keep rolling. So what happens is that the amount of dots is not based on a percentage of color. It's based on being able to trick the eye. Photoshop is really smart. Corel Draw is really smart. These programs know what you're trying to do when you're setting these things up. So you're going to see what it does and how it disperses dots or dithers to create these tonal shifts. Over in this area, I'm going to be using black with my red to trick the eye into seeing this. Now this is exactly what it'll print like. It will print just like this. It will kind of give it a little bit of a posterized look well, it just depends. When you first start doing them, everyone's not great at printing them. It requires some pretty good registration. Um, the dot gain doesn't hurt that much. You almost want it to get a little bit of dot gain, which you can't avoid anyway. I'm gonna stop at some point and do a video where we just look at color and dot gain and stuff. It's gonna be very small because a very small amount of time dedicated to it because you can look at other people's videos and there is good information. Now there's bad information too. I really suggest you pay attention to what you're looking at. A lot of these people who are doing the color separation, they're doing it for a living. They sell color separations for screen printing, or they sell the plugins and stuff. I love them to death. I've bought all their plugins, but I have noticed that they make sure. Now you notice my zombie didn't have true green or true red or any of that in it, so I actually had to simulate those colors. They set up the designs with the true colors in them to make it pull very much easier, or it's dead in the middle, like they might have something that is 50-50, so they know exactly what they're going to get. A lot of them use old art. But anyway, the people talking about the Corel plugins, you can really listen to what they say about color and about dot gain because they know their stuff. There's one particular person, I'm not going to advertise for him. Um, yeah, but he does know about color. So I have this flattened. I have it at 150 DPI. It's going to be an index color separation. I'm just going to grab this tool right here so I don't accidentally like draw a rectangle or something. So I go to image, I go to index color, and I go to a custom palette. Now I played with this for a second, so I actually have the palette in. I'm gonna go ahead and explain to you a little bit about how this works. So you can command or control click on if your color palette's full the first time you use it and get them all to this means no color in here. Okay, and so this is the palette that I just set up before I decided to do the video. I just got in here. I wanted to just, I want to see my results after I pulled the logo in here. I'd already done the Corel video, but it's not every day you get a index separation. Wanted to make sure I was still sharp at pulling these and still, I don't want to look dumb. So I went ahead. Anyway, so when you click on a color, you can do this and it'll bring that up. I'm going to cancel because I don't need other colors. So um, let's click on this and I'll just get that red. That's all you're going to do. You're going to get colors. Now, what I suggest is I take screenshots. Now, I didn't know how it would work with the screencasting software, and so I'm not doing it right now. But you can just take note of this even. And so that way, when you do pull your plate and you want to make it a color to make it show up just like this, I'm just going to remember basically where this is here and this is here so I can get them pretty close for all of these. But you're going to just grab the colors in it. It really should be self-evident what colors you could pull. I mentioned in the Corel video, it's hard to tell you what wouldn't work and what'll work good. You kind of got to just understand it. I will pull in some sometimes, and I'll try to remember to say, okay, this is why we're not doing index. Even though there's be only a few colors, this is why we're not. Or I want to help you get my knowledge. I want to share my knowledge, so I'll try to remember to do that and just show you what the best things are for it. It's usually like things like grayscales where you can pull a couple of different grays, a black and a white. Those are good. Anything where you got right here and you're just like on one side of the color wheel and you just need to grab from, point A to point B. And so you have to think about how many heads you have on press and things of that nature. So actually the white is, so that this is not in there. So uh, let's move along. So once you develop this palette, you click OK. You want a 75% amount to 100%. 75 is the sweet spot for me. Diffusion, actually, because that accounts for a little bit of dot gain. Okay, that it may not. It may just render it on the screen. It's been a while since I've done it. 75 is fine though. 100 is even fine. This is it's a little bit different. You're gonna see how it is in a minute. So you click on OK, and so it kind of renders a little bit funky, but it's gonna look just like when the colors blend and when they trick the eye on the shirt. It's gonna look pretty much like what you saw from the beginning. So let's go in and look at how we do these pulls. You want to go into your channels and you want make sure your top one is selected. You go into your color range and first, since the dots are really small, I always actually suggest you get really zoomed in. Okay, let's zoom on in. All right, in this area right here, I can see every color. Now, it purposely has white where it does to lighten the colors. So basically, the eye is being tricked to see a certain orange here based on how many red dots You don't see the dots, okay? You're not going to see it when it's printed. You're not going to see it when it's back away at a distance on this screen. And so this is how it achieves it. It is dithering. And as you can see, now if we don't pull it, it's going to leave space or garment from below to achieve these colors using the white. And that's fine. That's not going to hurt anything in the image. It's not ideal, but it's how I decided to do this one. I decided to use the black to get the darks. I decided to use these colors down here. So as you can see black dots, you can see red dots, you can see yellow dots, you can see orange dots, and you can see white dots. We're not going to pull the white. We don't need to do that. So we're in here. We get our select color range, and we will pull first. We will pull our red. So I'm on that red dot, and I got it. You want zero fuzziness because you want to get just those exact red dots. They're 100% red. There's no reason to worry about it. You're going to get exactly every one of them. So you do that, and then you go over to the spot channel, new spot channel, select it. Then you click on your color, and you want to grab a color that is pretty much what your color is. You could have took screenshots, and I could have it on another monitor right now, right here, and it would be right here, and I could just paste in. I could just paste it in, know what it is, paste it in, or grab it, paste it in. But I didn't do that, so I'm just grabbing a like color. All right, 100% solidity unless you're doing the base. If you're doing the base, you want to represent what the base is going to show through, but we'll cover that when we do the base for this. Tell you now, it's about 85% on both. The base will be at 85%, this will be at 85%. It's pretty close rendering. So you click on OK. I actually forgot to type in that this is the red, so I will label that. I'll do that correctly from now on. So we're going to go ahead and turn that off and select the index again. Go back to the color range tool. We have grabbed our red. We will grab our orange and we'll say OK. We'll go to grab a spot channel. And this time I'm going to ORANGE so that I don't mess up the workflow. Now, if you remember, I said I was going to basically try to remember where these are and where I pulled. So, ta-da, I did that about the best I could from my memory. Oh, I don't like that color, though. That's not it. Let's do it. Maybe it was. Let's say, okay, there's the orange channel. Now you want to turn that off and go up and grab your original. Go back to your color range. Grab the tool for the color range. Now let's grab our yellow. That is definitely the yellow because I looked at the image before and there's a lot down in this area. Say OK. It's the same thing, new spot channel. I'm going to go here. I'm going to go right in the middle. Push it on up there. Maybe right there. Say OK. OK. Now we're going to turn this off. Grab the index at the top. We have one less to grab, and that's black. And I know that in the image right in here, there's a ton of black to make that dark, as I had mentioned. So let's grab a black pixel, and that's definitely the black. And that's why I'm zoomed so far in so I can look at each dither. These are going to be the size of a dot to where you could still choke a pixel or two. These are a couple pixel size squares. So I have my black information, go to a new spot channel. Oh, and I've been not naming them. I'm a bad little separator. I'm a bad little separator. But I get so busy running my mouth. I can't help it. I can't remember which one this was. Oh, I pulled the orange second, so this is the yeller. Oh, yeller. Okay. So let's turn our channels on and that one off and Command O. There you have it. Index color separation. Those are channels, so you can split those into separate documents if you don't have a RIP and just turn each one of them black and they're going to be dithers. You don't need to do anything else to them. There'll be little spots and you'll be good to go. If you do have a rip, you're just going to rip it. It's a channel file. You're just going to print. Those channels will print. You can't, they're spot. So your machine is going to recognize them as solid spot colors. They're not going to make up new channels for each one and make CMYK. They're going to print them just like that. You know what? I actually like the way that looks. It looks very good. Um, that's a great image for an index style separation. So help me break my record. One of you guys give me a pity like. I'm kidding. I don't care about likes. I'm not in this for likes. I'm not in it for attention. I just want to share some of the knowledge. And sometimes I feel like kind of making fun of other like YouTube personalities and different things, but I'm not really making fun of them. I'm just making fun of life, I guess. We'll be back doing this in the near future. Can't wait to show you this on a shirt. It's going to look really good. Can't wait to show you how I'm going to separate it. Now, they brought this to me and said, it can probably be done with this amount of colors. What would you do? And are you going to send the quote, or how do you want to do it? I said, no, whoever got the call can quote it and deal with it, but give that here. I'm going to use that on YouTube. I ended up calling down and saying, actually, make sure you do a highlight white because I want this integrity of this on there. I said, even if you've already told them that you can do it with 5 colors, which I'm seeing a red and a yellow to form the skins with also the 8 of a black. It's going on a light gray shirt. So with the 8 of a black, just in small amounts to help with this yellow and uh, red making the skin tone, I saw it as a blue, a yellow, a red, a black, and a base was what I was seeing in my mind. And sure enough, that's what they had thought. But I said, do not even worry about charging them. We're doing the highlight white to make sure that this, looks like fabric the way it does here. And so we're probably going to do this as a 6 color. So I will pull this. I'm probably going to do this as vector. And I'm probably going to I just haven't decided yet how I'm going to go about it exactly. Yeah, I think I should pull this probably as vector. But I'll pull this off of the design. I'll simulate a process, separate this. I'll choke the base. I'll pull way back on the highlight so it's just really affecting these areas, and I want it to affect in here. I want him to look like he's shining like he is right there. And you'll get to see the image after it comes off the press. So anyway, um, it's Joseph Worthy, the index color separations in Photoshop. Thanks for watching.